Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakwapadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Rhythm Storm of the World. This is Bram Nash at DC Camp with another lesson, to the Father since Yakim didn't walk away up Shema Shai in sincere and truth. So, it's crazy up in Babylon, man. All these, the spirits are just jumping on these folks, man. But, it's all part of prophecy. I can't complain. You just got to praise the Lord about Shema Shah because, hey, it's Babylon, man. It's a land of confusion, the land of the of confusion. The land of violence. If you read Psalm 23, it talks to you about Babylon being the valley of the shadow of death. And that's exactly what you see in Babylon, man. It's filled with nothing but death. Violence, violence, violence. And that's the image of Esau, man. That's a spirit of violence, destroying the earth, destroying the people, and that vibration is contagious, man. If you're not down with the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, you're gonna fall into that category, man, of being prone to violence, man. Because Esau is a violent and an oppressive entity. It's evil to the core, and that's exactly what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has set him up to be. So you just gotta stay in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai to avoid Esau's pitfalls, man. His pits that they've dug for Jake. So it says here, killer was being fired when shooting started, police say. So hey, it is these days that we have to deal with, man. The days of violence, more violence coming upon the face of the earth. This talks on a small scale level, but it just adds a little bit, to the incidents, man. We have folks losing it because of the grinding is ceasing, man. Folks are gonna be fired left and right. When the economy continues to crumble further. Hear about Payless closing down 2,300 stores, and then they're gonna have their online, make it an online business. So that means a lot of folks will go out of earning a check. So you just gotta be careful, man. They don't get attached to the society, just like Scripture talks about arise and depart is not your rest. So that's exactly what happens, man. So yeah, you gotta be spiritual in these last days, man. The people around you, you don't understand what they might be going through, how the curses might be acting upon their minds. All of a sudden, they start bugging out. So, hey, whether this is a false flag or not, it doesn't really change. That we're still in Babylon, and Babylon's on its way out. And the scripture talks about, those that live by the sword shall die by the sword. So that's exactly what I can gotta be aware of, then. So it says, these are the victims of the mass shooting in Aurora, Illinois. All right. So it says, this Jake, this bald-headed Jake with a smooth face. He went went towards a deep end. So it says, Aurora Police Chief, those who died did not deserve this. Witnesses describe confusion. Yeah, that's Babylon. Confusion, chaos at Aurora shooting. 5 police officers were wounded in the shooting. The cycle of inaction after mass shooting. So these are all headline stories. All right. So if you click further, you're gonna see other stories. It lets you know how Babylon is just going down, man. All right, open this link up. That's one thing about this place, man. At any point in time, you know, you could lose your job. You could, anything could happen to your home. There is no assurance of safety here in Babylon, man. So the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is just gonna remind Jake, man, it's time to move on. But those that want to get attached to this system, they're gonna get carnal. They're gonna panic. And look at the Edomite woman. She's a police chief. you know, that's exactly what Esau is all about, man. Sowing up confusion. Then he has to, let his minions clean up the mess. So that's exactly how Esau society is set up, man. Divide and conquer, a cycle of destruction. People make money of people that destroy themselves. You know, people that become victims to an oppressive society. That's exactly what Esau likes. He likes to have a profession that's based on that. That's where these cops come in. You know, so I won't really go deep into the story, but it is what it is. It's just a sentence of death. That lawyer Bashimash has pronounced upon Babylon. You know, so it says 5 Henry Pratt company employees who were killed in Friday's shooting. All right, so it says it mentions their names. I'm not even going to mention their names anyway. All right. That's two. This is the third one. That's the fourth one. This is the fifth one. So it says, I don't know, a couple of Jakes were killed, you know, by this so-called 45-year-old Jake. So just imagine, man, when all hell breaks loose, these cops will not even know where to go. They had SWAT teams out there, they had ambulances, they had all kinds of, bystanders and witnesses. So just imagine, man, when all hell breaks loose, man, you wouldn't have all that, man. So the Lord Yahweh Shema is righteous, to let you see that his spirit is not of Babylon, man. That's why this place is going down. Then it talks about how the alleged shooter, was able to get a weapon, but then they say he didn't get detected until, over what, about decades later, when he tried to apply for a concealed carry permit. So I could play the video, but I don't really have that much space on my phone. But it is what it is. So in March 2014, they say he applied to buy a gun from a dealer in Aurora. After a waiting period and passing a background check, that did not involve fingerprinting. That doesn't make sense, man. He bought the gun, so that's very suspicious. You know, once you plug in your ID from the details from your driver's license into the system, you should always, pull up the information, man. It runs you through the FBI background check, but hilarious, they didn't catch it. So when they tried to apply for concealed carry permits and had the fingerprints, it didn't, it didn't approve it, So that's what Babylon is all about, man. The downfall, the downfall of the people. There's no such thing as being afflicted in Babylon by the doctrines of this world. All right. So it says he was not supposed to be in possession of a firearm. Well, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. So that's what the Edomite female police chief says, man. So that's Esau's system for you, man. Nothing is safe. You know, that's one thing, you gotta be careful about, man. You can't be putting your trust in Esau's system. He tells you one thing and then something else is going on. So that's one thing you have to be aware about, man. You can't put your trust in Esau's system. But that's how it is, man. The Lord Bashim Ashar is on his way to deliver Jake out of captivity. So you don't want to get caught up in Esau's society thinking that, having a weapon would be a source of comfort, having a job would be a source of comfort. That's a mindset of the Edomites, man. And those that go along that line, this is what they turn into. They become beasts, they shoot up the whole place. So that's beautiful, man. You see the judgment of the Lord Yahweh Shema upon America. You can't really sympathize, man, with these people, man, with these places, because the Lord He's destroying Babylon. You can't sympathize, with the enemies of the Lord. All right. So I'll get the book of Job, chapter 8. I'll start from verse 9. All right. So this book of Job, chapter 8, verse 9. All right. But that's cool though. All right. So it says, "For we are of, for we are but of yesterday and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow." All right. So you know how it is, man. The Most High will reduce our lifespan upon the face of this earth. And now that the Spirit is moving, and Jake is waking up to who he is, you know, you should be glad that salvation is nigh. But for those that reject it, that's what happens to them, and they become, entrenched in this cycle of oppression. And then when they don't really see a way out, they try to, they try to destroy themselves and destroy others, that's around them. All right. So that's why it's important, that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is with you. So when He's bringing that judgment of destruction, that you're covered, that you're exempt from that judgment, of violence that's coming upon Babylon. All right. So it's a beautiful thing, man. You have to know that you don't really have that much time in this place, man. That the time you gotta use it wisely in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai to do His will in sincerity and in truth. And I get the book of Second Ezra. All right, look at chapter 16. Then you start reading from verse 40. So it says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those days be as pilgrims upon the earth." All right. So you can't have a mindset of being steady here in Babylon, man, that things are going to work out fine based on the so-called economic model that the elites have put in place. It wasn't meant to see Jake rise. You have the criminal justice system that is not righteous. You have the financial system, which is based on righteousness. Educational system is whack. The healthcare system is whack. The industry for providing food, safety, and services is out of sync with the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. So you have to understand, man. You can't you can't set your foundation here in Babylon, man. You gotta look towards a better place. Look into the holy scriptures. Look towards a kingdom of righteousness that Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna set up. All right. So it says, "He that selleth, let him be as him. Let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that we lose." So you shouldn't get attached, man. If you're in the business, hey, just clear your inventory out, man. You can't just hold on and hold on and thinking the economy is going to improve. You got to know how to move your product out. You can't be always hoping for a profit. If the Lord gives you a profit, Tawada to the Lord Yabashima Shai. Other than that, you got to keep it moving. You got to be dynamic when you're doing the works of Yabashima Shai. Then in verse 42, "He that occupieth merchandise as he that had no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein." All right, so hey, when the economy collapses, folks just have to know that the Lord Yabashimashai is pulling the plug on Babylon, and you don't have to hesitate, man. Because the wisdom of the Lord Yabashimashai will guide you. It's going to prepare you to go through the difficult times that you're experiencing. Then verse 43 says, "He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planted the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes." All right, so that's very important. You don't want to get too involved in this place, man. You gotta know how to use the word, but don't abuse it. And I'm just gonna skip to verse 45. It says, "And therefore they that labor in vain." All right. So the Most High is destroying Babylon. The economy is out of shape. The president and his henchmen are getting ready for war. So how can you have a profitable business when the economy is tanking? The financial system is moving over towards the mark of the beast. How can you have a profitable business in a society that's based on the image of the beast? The Messiah doesn't want us to stay here any longer, so it's going to speed things up, right? So I get another precept here. I'm going to switch back to the blue letter, the New Testament, the book of James, chapter 4, and then verse 14. You can't be making plans, man, that the Lord is going to let it happen. It's Lord will, it's up to the Lord to let things happen. So it says, James 4:14, "Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appear for a little time and then vanisheth away." And that's exactly what's happened. Folks that got caught up in that violent encounter in that Aurora, Illinois facility. Hey, they were having plans, man. They just celebrated Valentine's. Getting ready for the weekend. They might just have gotten paid, and hey, they were in a so-called good merry mood. They're getting their jobs done on time. They're posting on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Twitter. But hey, it is what it is, man. Now they're gone. So who knows what type of insurance money the family is gonna collect. So hey, it is what it is, man. You can't be weeping and crying, man. Hey, you just got to understand what's going on here in Babylon, man. You got to keep it moving. You don't have time to be crying over the folks of this world, man. You know. So that's exactly what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to make his men about, man. You don't have time to be sympathizing, with those that are being judged by the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai for not holding on to righteousness, that love to hold on to the doctrines of this world. All right, so verse 15 says, "For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or do that." All right, so that's how you have to be, man. If the Lord's will, you know, I'll get this done tomorrow, I'll get that done tomorrow. And hey, just let the Lord take care of that, man. The Lord Yahushua talks about, don't worry about tomorrow. Just do what you need to do for the day in righteousness. All right. Then the last precept, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17. Then just look at, if you look at verse 4, it tells you, man, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. All right, so that's exactly what happened to Jake, man. The went to work, had his weapon on him. All of a sudden, he got fired, and then he had to fire them back. So hey, he took care of business. But it's just so hilarious, man. You just have to laugh and giggle. And in the Lord's will, get a drink. And praise the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, send up praise and curses. Prayers for the Akim and curses upon the enemies of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, by Shema Krakadesh. Because this place pisses you off, man. You don't want to be here, but at the same time, you just have to be patient in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. You have to suffer, for righteousness' sake. You're not here to suffer because, of your personal views, man. You have to suffer because of the wills of Yahweh Shema Shai. You got to go through that fire that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has set For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, we shall burn forever. So the anger of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is only for a moment, on his elect. But for his enemies, two-thirds of our people, they're going to bear the brunt of that anger when the nuclear missiles hit in the time of martial law, of great violence and the plagues. They're going to feel it. The verse 5 says, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusted in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. And that's exactly what the shooter, you know, is going to be classified as, man. He lost faith in the Lord thereby Shema Shai, became a casualty, of his own desires. Thought his work, getting a job is the way out. No, it's not. Yahweh Shai is the way out. It's the way out of mental slavery, man. It's the way out of this physical captivity that you have to deal with. So that's exactly what happens, man. Scripture talks about woe to those that have lost patience. What are you gonna do when the Lord arrives? So, hey, what else can I say? All right. So, just scroll down more. All right, then you got verse 7 says, Blessed is the man that trusted in the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kwakwadash, and whose hope the Lord is. All right. Then verse 8 says, For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. And that's the beautiful thing about having faith in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. It doesn't matter what the situation around you is, whether folks are having a bad time, terrible time, a chaotic time, that the Lord got you, man. The Lord will protect you. He'll keep your mind sharp. He's going to bless you with that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that you really need to stay stable, to stay focused in these last days, man. Because, hey, you're pilgrims, man. You got to know how to assess the situation in the spirit and let the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, guide you. That's all it boils down to. So I can, don't get too attached to Babylon, man. Because when the grinding is low, hey, there'll be no jobs, for Akim. So just gotta be spiritual. The Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, will protect and guide you. It will provide, just like you have in Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 8. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaves shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So, scarcity of bread, scarcity of food, scarcity of medical supplies, the famine of the word, it's not going to really affect the elect, the men of the Lord, the one child of the nation of Israel, as harshly as it will affect the two-thirds, the enemies of the Lord. So that's a beautiful thing, man. The Lord is always looking out for his elect, so that's a great thing. So just have faith, Akim, these last days. Shalom.